The gravitational pull between the moon, the earth and the sun has controlled the tides from the time the seas were formed. 500 million years ago, primitive life emerged from the sea to inhabit the land. A progression from fish to amphibians and reptiles led to mammals, and eventually we evolved amongst the wild animals of Africa, about 3 million years ago. The scientific record is there to prove it. The world has been changing ever since, and it will continue to do so. Today, world population numbers pose the greatest threat to our survival, for they demand ever-increasing use of our diminishing natural resources. In Kenya, the number of people has risen tenfold since 1925 to over 30 million today. The balance between the number of people and the use or abuse of our natural resources has to be sustainable if we are to survive as a prosperous nation. Today, biodiversity is under threat, and this affects our own survival. Imagine two huge tractors dragging a steel net between them across the plains. Everything is flattened and destroyed, with most of the dead animals and plants being thrown away as inedible, leaving behind a desolate waste. This is what trawling does to marine life worldwide. Cutting into the forest condemns people to even greater poverty in the long term. There will never be enough land for all Kenyans to own a piece, just like in any country. On the peaks of Mount Kenya, biodiversity is alive in plants and animals that have adapted to the cold climate. Lower down on the mountain, in every thicket and every patch of bamboo, or deep in the montane forests, an incredible variety of animals and plants have evolved since ancient times. Microorganisms, together with much larger animals and plants, all living together, all interconnected, are creating and sustaining life. It's a sobering thought to realize how much of biodiversity depends on insects, and what is destroyed when the natural vegetation is totally removed. The loiter forests are extraordinary for the fact they are intact and unmolested. Here, deep in these forests, lies the source of a number of rivers, which flow into the arid areas of the Great Rift Valley. You may not think the water on these leaves amounts to anything significant, but multiply it 1 billion times all through the forest over thousands of years, and you will realize how dew contributes to the overall retention of moisture, even in times of no rain. Biodiversity is crucial to our survival in many ways. These rivers have had the same flow for years because these forests and the river catchments are protected by strong legislation. National parks benefit Kenyans in many diverse ways. There are enormous opportunities for rural communities and small tour companies to develop tourist ventures at all financial levels. This lion was poisoned after it had killed a cow. Then, in years to come, the children of these elders may well ask, "Why did you not create this reserve sooner? Why did you ever kill lions?" For that matter, they may wonder why anyone destroyed forests or killed fish indiscriminately. These same children may well say the elders of Transmara showed more courage than it takes to kill a lion by allowing the lion to once again live as he had done in the distant past. Even if the rains fail, the wild animals still bring the tourists, and the money still comes in. Why do so many people show such a strong fascination for wild animals? Well, we evolved within the world of wild animals. Our ancestors lived on the Great Plains together, so biodiversity is, deep down in our hearts, part of our psyche. Perhaps it gives us our spirit.